What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the 757 Bucs Dynasty. And today we're gonna get into this week one matchup versus South Carolina. Now, South Carolina is an SEC opponent, and this being our first year as a program, we decided to take some challenges, especially being since we have a team full of talented guys all around, from the offense with the young guys and their ability with the defense and their swarm, the way we swarm to the ball on defense. And we just really excited. But hopping into this game, South Carolina has a few guys that I think are notable that we need to talk about and how we're going to defend them. So starting off, we got Nick Harbor. Nick Harbor is a 6'5", 99 speed deep threat. He's a five-star receiver, and I think he'll be a problem. So Nick Harbor, just a freak of nature type of guy, just like playing against a DK Metcalf in college football. So along with him and Lenore Sellers, the quarterback, I think that's a tall task to swallow for our first game, but we up for the challenge, especially being since we got Savion Wright, the freshman corner. I think Savion is going to be the guy that we use to, follow around Nick Harbor, and he's going to trail him the entire game. We're going to put our freshman corner on him, 6'3". He's a ball hawk. He's aggressive. He gets up. He plays physical football. And Savion is just the guy that I feel like he got it. He got the swag. And this going to be the game I believe Savion can make a name for himself. I don't think too many people have an impact corner like Savion. And I just I'm excited to see how he shows out against Nick Harbor. It's his first game as a college football player, and it's going to be his. Now today, the 757 Bucs go on a road trip to take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. The South Carolina Gamecocks being in the SEC, having a nice size stadium, having an impact player like Nick Harbor. This gonna be one for the books. It's gonna be one to remember, especially this being our first game in program history, being on the road, taking on a, a top program in the SEC. They got some of the top players, and we not backing down from the challenge. Now, starting off the game, they would kick it off to the freshman, the coach's son, Kylan Dobie, and he would have a great return. Then, you know, coming into this game, they have Kofi and Joku being one of our impact players. But starting this one off, I think we were a little nervous. You know, South Carolina would come out and boom, our starting running back for a fumble in the first turnover at the beginning of the game. Now, we were prepared for this. And while these guys were getting excited and all that, and they think they're taking our momentum, we are ready. We came to play. So, first drive on defense, we would come out, play an aggressive style defense, and we're going to break it up early. Our DBs are young, but our DBs are ready. These guys ain't laying down for nobody. But the excitement of that play wouldn't last long, as Norris Sellers would take off for a great quarterback scramble, and then he would come back again and get into the end zone. Now, I mean, while we expected it to know it's part of the game, but we didn't plan for this much. We knew the guy could run, but we've been so busy preparing for Nick Harbor that we forgot all about the fact that Lenore Sellers is a great QB. But last year he was a backup, and we just didn't have much film, so that was how we opened up this game. But coming back to the drive, we would throw a quick screen to the freshman, and the freshman would make a big play off the spin move, and we would start our drive off right. Now, while South Carolina did come out and strike fast, we going to answer. You ain't just going to walk down the field on us and think, that's going to be that. We came back and also get another big run. These big plays back-to-backs on this drive would, quiet down South Carolina just a little bit, just to let them know that, we here to fight. We did not come here to lay down and just get blown. Nah, that ain't this. We going to get the ball in our playmakers' hands and let our guys make plays. That freshman, I'm not just saying this because he's the coach's son, but he is a great athlete, and that he's spelled wonderfully by that running back, and the running back will make a great run and get in for a touchdown and tie this thing up. Now, after that great run by Jay Sean Jones, I think that would put these fans on notice that we in for a barn burner today, because there's no way that Coach Dobie and the 757 Bucks are coming into South Carolina to waste their time and just lay down. That's not what we here for. We came to win. And Jay Sean Jones had an aggressive run, and he's putting people on notice to let them know he is not a backup and he's not a small time guy. He's very big time. So South Carolina back on offense. They're going to try to take a page out of Coach Dobie's books and throw the quick passes, but the defense was just all over it. Then they would come back with the quick passes, but those corners are very aggressive. They'll make the tackle. And I love the 757 Bucks defense. They're so aggressive, they're so fast, and they really mean business. They have a point to prove every play. South Carolina will come out and try to run the screen, but the Bucks would be all over top of it, which would lead to South Carolina punting the ball off to the freshman. The freshman would have a great return, aggressive. He plays very aggressive. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. So, the Bucks would come back out on offense, and the crowd is going crazy a little bit. So we're gonna have to try to get the ball in space, but the quarterback would take off right up the middle with another very electrifying run, which would give the Bucks a first down. Now the 757 Bucks, I love the way they play offense because it's always quick. They're very a no huddle, fast paced team, and they got a lot of quick guys, a lot of weapons, and they would give the ball to Paul Moore, and Paul Moore would take it all the way to the crib to put South Carolina on notice that the Bucks are not here to play with you guys. The Bucks are trying to come and knock off South Carolina at their crib. Now South Carolina's back on offense, and quarterback Lenore Sellers, he's not gonna lay down. He would make a great throw to the tight end, and the tight end would run downfield to get out of bounds on the 45-yard line. They would cross the midfield. And we didn't expect South Carolina to come in here and lay down. But what I do think is they expected us to come in here and lay down. So Lenora Sellers would shift to another formation, hand the ball off to Sanders, and Sanders would make a great run, aggressive physical run, but tackled by Savion Wright. But after those two great plays, they would probably pretty much get nothing out of that drive. And the Bucks will be back on offense, starting off with a great run by Jay Sean Jones. Now, Coach Dobie's philosophy is to pretty much score fast. But if he's playing a tough game like this, he wants to get his guys the ball in space, but in the same token, he wants to control and manage that clock. So that's what he's doing with the jet sweeps and the dives and the stretches. He's trying to get his guys in space. Now, Jay Sean Jones would make a great run right now, and he would take off, and Jay Sean Jones would get his second touchdown of the day. Now, Jay Sean Jones is a transfer from Michigan, and he's not playing. The Bucks back on offense. Sanderson makes a great 10-yard run. Now, I don't know what the Bucks told their guys today. I don't know what the pregame conversation was, but the Bucks came to play, and the Bucks are pounding away in South Carolina's defense. Now, I don't know if South Carolina's defense didn't know about this backfield or they didn't do their homework, but they should have done their homework because the Bucks are running. Now, I don't know what this freshman running back was doing, but coach needs to get him out of there. Coach leaves him in. Now we have the quarterback. He's dropping back to throw. He throws an interception. Now the South Carolina Gamecocks are back on offense. And not only did they get an interception, that interception just gave their whole crowd and their stadium and them fans life. It gave their team life. It gave them hope. So South Carolina will be back on offense. And when they come back on offense, it would seem like that was all they really needed was that interception, because Nick Harbor would make a play. He would snag it right on Savion Wright and take it in for a touchdown. And that's not what we wanted to happen, guys. We've been keeping him quiet pretty much up until this point. But he would make a play. Great players make plays. So Bucks back on offense. We're gonna do what we do best. Hand it off to Jay Sean Jones. You know, now the fatigue is starting to set in. Their D line is starting to, get their hands on our guys. So we would have to go back in space, going back to the freshman, Kyle and Dobie. He would do what he do. That drive would stall out. But the Bucks would come back on offense, and that freshman safety would shoot that gap and make the tackle. Now that's what we love to see. The Bucks, we have to maintain this momentum. We have to quiet back their crowd back down, but that wouldn't happen just yet, because as Nick Harbor would burn Savion right across the field on the drag route and get a significant gain, not really affecting us too much because our D-line would come in and make a play. Oh, that's actually our linebacker. Our linebacker would shoot in there and make a play, which would stall out South Carolina's drive. We would go back on offense and make a great throw downfield. Now the Bucks right now, they're playing very mistake-free football. And when you playing teams like South Carolina in bigger conferences and away, You have to make the least mistakes possible, as the Bucs are doing. They keep getting the ball out early. They're getting the ball out quick. They're handing the ball off. They're not fumbling. No penalties. The Bucs are playing a clean game right now, and they would have to maintain and continue to play a game this smooth to be able to pull off a road win versus a bigger conference opponent like South Carolina. Now we got to remember, this is a young offense and this is a young team. This is a new team. This is their first game in program history. So we're still trying to gel together, get the chemistry going. I mean, I feel like we had a very decent camp, but our quarterback would take off right here and get a great gain and run out of bounds. So that would make it a 4th and short. But they would get the ball in one of their guys' hands. He'll make a spin move and get a first down. That's setting the Bucs up in great field position to go ahead and make a good run for Jayshon Jones to punch it in for another rushing touchdown. Now the Bucs, they're making a statement right now. They came into South Carolina and they are not playing. The Bucs are playing hard football. They're fighting every drive. They're fighting for every yard on the methodical plays. When you give them a good play, they are taking advantage of it. That's how you beat good teams. That's how you become a great program. And the Bucs are making a name for themselves in this first game. I really do feel like after this game, they're going to put some people on notice in the country. Now, back on offense, Lenore Seller, he does what he does best. He uses his legs. Now, after that run, that was South Carolina up in great position, and Lenore Seller would squeeze it in the traffic into Nick Harbor. And Nick Harbor would make a great play, breaking a few tackles, getting it down for a first down. Lenore Seller will then try to find their tight end, and it wouldn't go, but that wouldn't last long because he would find a receiver in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. And the Gamecocks, they're fighting back at their home stadium. They're not just going to lay down and just let us walk out of here with a win. And we didn't come in here expecting anything else, but we'll go back on offense and give it to Jayshon Jones. And Jayshon he's our bell cow right now. He's making a lot of plays. And Paul Moore as well. We want to get him out in space because Paul Moore is a burner. Now, handing off to Jayshon Jones again, trying to get the first. It's a turnover on downs. South Carolina back on offense. They try to find Nick Harbor again, but Savion makes a great play, a diving attempt to block that pass, and that's why we have him over there. We know he's going to be in the battle. He's been going back and forth with Nick Harbor all day, and the Bucs will come and make an interception to go back on offense. The Bucs are playing aggressive. The Bucs are playing physical. The Bucs came to win. With 7 deflections and 2 interceptions, that secondary is really, really shut down today. But after half, South Carolina would start off with the ball, and the secondary would come out and get another deflection. We would get a stop on offense to go stop on defense to go back on offense, and we're going to go back to our quick game. We're going to go back to marching the ball down the field, being smart with the ball, making quick reads, quick decisions. We're noticing their man coverage, so we got to hand that off, and that's the offense that we got to go with this year. We have to be smart. We can't just go for the big play. We got a young quarterback. We got young receivers. So we're looking pretty much to get the ball in our playmakers' hands quick, use their speed, get out in space, get good blocks, and we would fumble right there, but we would get the ball back. Paul Moore, we can't have that. But South Carolina, they coming out here trying to prove a point the way they're hitting. But it's not going to phase us much. So after a great physical run from Sanderson, we would then hand it off to Jayshon Jones, and not so fast. Great physical run. That would have been his 4th of the day, but we would get a holding call. So we backed up 10 yards. We're going to go back to Jayshon Jones, and he's going to double up and punch it in for a 4th time today. Jayshon Jones came and he means business. He is making a statement today, but that wouldn't be long before South Carolina came back and scored. And these guys won't go out quietly. They just won't go out. So we're going to come back and we're going to try to punch another one in of our own. Make a quick pass to Kofi Njoku, the number 1 tight end in the country, and he will go score. This game is getting electric, fellas. We going to score. They going to score. We punching. They swinging back. And that's just the type of football that we love to play, guys. Now we're back out on defense as the battle between Nick Harbor and Savion Wright continue. Savion straps up Nick Harbor on his comeback route, and Savion gets excited. But that excitement wouldn't last too long because South Carolina would come out with a toss play to their senior Sanderson, and Sanderson would leap over, and run through the Bucs defense and take all the way off for a whole nother touchdown. Now I would like to say this myself. South Carolina is becoming a nuisance because they just won't go away, which is fine. But the Bucs are both teams are getting wore down. They're getting wear and tear, and we got to figure out something to put these guys away quietly. Now the Bucs back on offense. They would start their drive off with a carry by Jayson Jones, but that would just be to take the game into the fourth quarter. Put your fours up. It's time for this. See if the Bucs are really built for Division One college football. Now going into the fourth, we have our quarterback Tavon Anderson with 251 passing yards, and he has really been managing in this game today. He has really been putting us in position to compete with an SEC opponent.
Now we're back on offense, and our main concern right now is getting some time off this clock and getting some points on the scoreboard because we cannot lose right now. We cannot make any mistakes. We cannot afford an interception. We cannot afford fumbles. So we need to hold on to that ball. We need to get our blocks, no holding penalties, stay disciplined, and get into the end zone. And the freshman would do just that as he takes a bubble screen all the way down to the inside the red zone to the 3 yard line. And this kid is electrifying. Now, I thought that was going to be his first touchdown in his career, but it was still a big play. And I'm just excited to see the future of this kid. When I give you his backstory, you're going to see this kid is nothing but work. He works hard for everything he got. He's trying to prove a point, not just to his stands, not to the world, not even to the school. He just wants to prove to his dad that he's really one of them guys and he's not living off of his dad's name. He's really a great football player. He's a great athlete. He's a great kid. Following that great play by Kylan Dobie, we would punch it in and then our defense would turn around and make a great stop on the turnover. And I just really feel like right now the 757 Bucks are finding their feet and they're really making a lot of plays as we would throw a short screen as we've been doing all day to pick up the first down. Now that run and that first down will get the Bucks into field goal position. So we're gonna be smart here in the Bucks. We're gonna settle for a field goal. We're gonna take our 3 points because right now we in position to win at a bigger opponent on the road for our first game of the school's career. And that's just a big blow to the crowd. The crowd would definitely feel that one as they will pipe down a little bit and they would see the Bucks came to play today, as I stated before. But I don't think they would go out quiet as Lenore Sellers would find Nick Harbor on the out route, and then they would hurry up. The South Carolina, they're still in this game. The game is far from over with less than 3 minutes on the clock, and he will find Nick Harbor on a go route. And once again, the Gamecocks are not going away quietly. So we're back on offense once again. And once we're back on offense, we would try to run out this clock as they would take a few timeouts back to back. And as they're taking those times out and we're just dwelling away, we're just trying to pick up a first down just to really end this game. Number 10 would get the first down. And I'm really just amazed at how Tavon Anderson is just managing this game today, starting his first game in college football with SEC play, being in a smaller school. And South Carolina defense would collapse on our running back, and they would take another timeout after the 2 minute warning. And they're just going to burn up all those timeouts. And as they're burning them up, we're just really trying to get them off the field, and they would commit to the run. And Kylan Dobie would get his first touchdown of his college career. And there's many more to come. Believe that. So that should put the nail in the coffin, right? But I might have spoke too soon because Nick Harbor would catch it in traffic and he would take it all the way for a South Carolina Gamecock touchdown. And with that touchdown and them having no more timeouts, that would pretty much wrap it up if we get this onside kick here and we get the onside kick. And with that onside kick, the 757 Bucks would take a knee and they would walk out of South Carolina with a W. Now, some of my big takeaways from this game, the 757 Bucks are a very talented team. Now, offensively, they can rock out with the best of them as they showed today. But as far as defense, the Bucks have a lot of work to do. Jayson Jones showed up today. He was running extremely hard, averaging over 10 yards a carry. And I mean, we contain Nick Harbor, but I can't really say you contain a player who comes out with maybe 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards. But this our first game. We had a freshman covering him. He contained him well enough for us to get the win. Our O-line did great today. Our defensive line did great. Our defensive backs did great. And I'm really just excited to see the future of the 757 Bucks. Now, next week, we will be taking on the East Carolina Pirates, which is a less talented opponent, but they're still a threat. So Just be looking out for that one. 757 Bucs. We here and we here to stay. Coach Dobie, I catch you. YouTube was good, man. I'm back. And I'm back with a bang, man. We coming today. We coming to react to this Sights and Sound video.